Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the channel, current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, technology, and just general items of interest that come up during the week that I'd like to share my thoughts on, provide you guys with my opinion, and then encourage you guys to give me your feedback on these particular topics. If you are new here or you are a frequent visitor, welcome. And to those who are on Steemit, DTube, and BitChute, I welcome you guys as well and encourage you, if this is your first time, to consider giving me a subscribe or a follow so you guys can continue to get the vlog content. We're starting it off with the shooting that took place in San Bruno, California at YouTube. It is interesting that social media does seem to come up quite often here on the channel, and that is because I work in social media, but more specifically, I have a YouTube channel myself. Now, the community as a whole is kind of a bit of a family. We share with one another our concerns and thoughts about activity that goes on with YouTube. So like this 39-year-old Iranian immigrant woman who did vegan videos, who was concerned about and was active in animal rights, as well as produced her own workout videos that were kind of message videos, vlogging, and also music videos. They were a bit eccentric, but simply being eccentric is of no particular concern for flagging videos. Now, we have all experienced some level of flagging, particularly going all the way back to August of 2017 when we attended the Creator Day last year. This came up just kind of right after the flagging began, and they tried to address it as saying that the algorithm was learning, it was developing. However, just recently, YouTube made some changes to where individuals had to have 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours worth of watch time. That's going to be within a 1-year period. So apparently what happened to this particular individual is her items were being flagged and demonetized. Now, flagging just means that you have limited advertising on your channel. Now, you can be shadow banned. Now, shadow banned just means that your video is actually taken out of like a rotation or isn't in suggested, isn't in recommended, and you can't link it to anyone. So I don't think she was being shadow banned. I think she was just being flagged and demonetized because she mentioned that she had a very popular video, which I have heard had over 300-something thousand views, which would have generated her a little bit more money than 10 cents, which is what she claims she had earned from that video. Now, we can all empathize with her situation, but most importantly, we can empathize with the victims there who were part of her bit of angst rampage. She ended up killing herself. One person was critically injured, that was a male, and 2 other females were injured. However, they have since been released. Now, this is a very concerning issue on many different levels. First off, that it happened at YouTube because this month YouTube is going to be implementing their newest policy changes to channels that have and or feature firearms. I won't go into all the details of what that's going to involve, but I found it kind of curious that it did happen at YouTube, of all places, the second largest search engine on the internet. Now, I'm not getting into any of the Hegelian dialectic ideology here. I'm simply saying that these situations are so incredibly rare that even experts in the statistical criminal field don't even have any databases, metrics, or analysis or telemetry on these types of shootings, particularly with females in general, or even more specifically with Caucasian females. They just simply don't have the data because it is so unusual. Now, obviously her motivation was that she was angered by the flagging, and maybe she had some back and forth with the community service and she felt as though she was not being heard. Believe me, as a YouTuber, we all feel this way. I mean, I think anyone in general can relate to the frustration that you can experience when you have an issue or a concern or even a message that you want to deliver that you feel that people are not getting or that you are not being taken seriously. So I have a great deal of empathy. A lot of my hopes and well wishes to all those out there at YouTube. They have been great for me. At Creator Day, these people have shown a great deal of attention to all of us as creators. I appreciate everything they do, and of course we wish all of them out there in San Bruno the very best. President Trump has been a bit of a headliner this week. Starting it off, he is sending National Guard troops down to the border to help secure the area, I suppose, as they are building the wall, although we are at a 46-year low of individuals coming into the country. Now, the media has kind of tried to make this out as though Trump were doing some kind of strong arm move, but the reality is Bush, President Obama, and even Rick Perry have sent National Guard troops down there to the border. Now, we're not entirely clear what their mission will be, so we'll have to keep an eye on it and see exactly what it will entail. So Trump has also announced that he will be pulling troops out of Syria as he believes that ISIS has been contained or is on the run, or within the area, the troops that are currently there from the various nations that have gone there to help Syria. Along with Syrian troops, he believes that perhaps it is time for the U.S. to completely leave the area. Now, Trump has been rather quiet on his military moves, as he mentioned during his campaign that he would not go into the specifics and or details so as to let the enemy know what we are doing. So I'm sure he has coordinated this with his generals, and they will make a very successful exit out of the country without creating too much of a footprint or vacuum once the troops leave. And lastly, in the Trump headliners, immigration and immigration reform. This week, the president said that he would provide amnesty to the dreamers that are here in the United States, and we could even see additional amnesty. Now, you would think that the Democrats would have been quite excited about all this, and I believe that their concern is that Trump is reaching their base. Now, I'm not suggesting that all these individuals would suddenly become supporters of Trump, but I can see that they are listening very carefully to what he has to say. Republicans and Trump supporters will equally be very interested to see where the president is going with this. And of course, I am equally as interested to see how this is going to turn out, because this has been a point of contention ever since President Trump became president and has been a bit of a sticking point ever since. And it is certainly one that the Democrats leverage quite often. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up this Friday vlog. I appreciate your guys' participation, your likes and comments and shares. And I'm hoping that we can continue to have this sort of organic feel to the vlogs, and I encourage you guys to express your opinions and thoughts down in that published section below. And here, as you see on the screen, the ubiquitous channel icon, guys, go ahead and click on that to subscribe. To the steamers, to the DTubers, and to those out there in BitChute, guys, consider giving me a follow or a subscribe so you guys will get all the latest out of the Friday vlogs. And I will see you guys next Friday.